Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another Thursday night in the Riverbend Sea Shanty Sing-Along underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub. Riverbend Talent on the air, brought to you by Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. Maybe the closed captions will get it that time. Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance. And thanks to them, we're able to come in every Thursday night and bring you Riverbend Talent and tell you what's going on around the Riverbend and talk to someone interesting. I want to remind you that Rock the Hops is coming up on August 8th, and if you want to get involved, you can check the link at cottonmouth.org or go to rockthehopsalton.com. There's a band submission form right there at cottonmouth.org so you can get your band lined up to play Rock the Hops on August 8th. We got the open mic scheduled later tonight at the Conservatory with Scott Miller. Kevin Gruen at the Pump House tonight from 7 until 10. Cross the Line already underway at Fast Eddie's until 10 o'clock. We got Country Night open mic starting at 7 o'clock at the Full Moon Lounge in Godfrey. We've got Scott Marlin already underway at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville until 9. The Psychedelic Symphony scheduled to play 7 to 10 at the Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville tonight. Matt Heaton already underway at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon. We got Jeremy Drake already underway, started at 5:30. He'll go to 8:30 at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. And then over at the Heavy Anchor in St. Louis, recent guest, Crystal Lady, playing with Mads and Cry Nonsense. That's a 21-plus show, $10 cover at the Heavy Anchor in St. Louis. And tonight our guest, returning for the second time, Justus, Dean Justus.
What up, what up? So good to see y'all again. Thank y'all for inviting me back.
Yeah. And there's another guy here, too.
Oh, yeah. This is Bird Dog down here. Yeah, she's my partner. She sings it. She's the actual headline act, you know. She sings at the end of the show, so.
Yeah, I forgot Bird Dog was down there under the table. I thought it was Pigpen.
Oh, yeah.
A dog and a pig.
A dog named Bird and a
pig.
A dog and a pig.
Oh, sounds like a lot of animals going on in here.
Yeah.
I feel like an animal right now.
Oh, I feel like an animal, too.
I've been out like a snake in the sun, belly up. Oh, man. So how you been doing, man?
I've been doing fabulous. Doing fabulous.
We were just talking before we went on air. It's been about a year since I seen you.
Yes.
Last time I saw you, I think, was right here, sitting in this room.
Sitting in this chair.
Sitting in this same chair, same smile.
Yes.
You were heading out at that time to head down Route 66. I think that was your second trip going down there?
No, it was going to be my very first trip going down Route 66. Yeah, it was my, let's see, it would have been my spring tour of 2025, Human Race spring tour, heading out, and was going all the way out to Santa Monica and had a show in Springfield, Missouri, and in Oklahoma City, and that was it. You know, but yeah, you know, I mean, besides St. Louis and the Missouri area around here, you know, but I went out Route 66 and toured all the way out to Oklahoma and then decided to go all the rest of the way. But going the rest of the way, I played with multiple people in multiple places. Like, you know, I got to play with the Sun City, Arizona Ukulele Club, which was actually 67 ukuleles at one time. They invited me personally and had me come, and yeah, it was absolutely fabulous, man. I mean, this is a retirement community, one of the very first retirement communities ever built in Arizona. And it was mind-blowing to see all the different ukuleles and all the different people playing, and truly they, during the jam session, challenged every bit of my abilities. I'll tell you that right now.
Really?
That people could play.
Yeah.
People could really, really play, yeah. You know, definitely was one of them things of I need to learn a couple new notes.
You know, every time I play with somebody, they challenge me because I'm challenged. But the great thing is when you do that, even though it can almost be painful at the time. Oh, I just got served.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was humbling.
But you learn something.
Yes.
You watch what they do, and you go, huh. or you hear something in their style.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh my gosh, are they using their thumbnail to mute that string? That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, little things that people do that's their own style. And I imagine in a community like that, there's a lot of every style of ukulele you've ever
Oh, yeah. There was a
imagined.
guy that actually built his own ukuleles and actually built personal ukuleles for people, you know. And there was bass ukuleles, there was sopranos, there was beginners, there was advanced people. It wasn't just professionals like a symphony or an orchestra or something like that, you know.
I would think like not just
truly it was humbling also. 1 second, I hate to interrupt you.
No,
but
I'm interrupting you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, truly it was humbling also because it opened my mind to more music and different music that I wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Because it was an older
There you
generation, if that makes sense. So
Well,
they were
and-
playing stuff I never thought about picking up.
And that's what I was actually, whenever I said, man, I bet there's every style of ukulele there, I wasn't even thinking of the actual instrument. I was thinking of the styles of playing.
Oh,
I made
oh,
the
yeah,
statement.
yeah,
That's what was
yeah,
in my
yeah.
brain,
Yeah.
was that. And you circled the wagon all the way back around to
Yeah.
it. Because I would think with that, you know, an older generation, it's a different style, and they were taught the classics, and they were taught, you know, but then, just like the first time I saw you, that was a different ukulele than I had
Different
ever,
experience. Just us
every-
and the
yeah,
experience.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just it. You were playing the instrument in a unique way.
Yeah.
And I would think in a community that big, there's a lot of that.
Oh,
where
a
you're
lot.
like, oh, wow.
Yeah, a
You know?
lot. When I went to the Orange County Ukulele Festival this last time down in Santa Ana, I got invited there to play and a couple songs and everything. The different styles was absolutely mind-blowing. You know, I mean, I got to watch 20 different people perform and, you know, a bunch of different people play and stuff like that. But the different styles as they came up, from the Hawaiian styles to the Beach Boys style, all the way to, like, classical finger-picking styles. And like I said, it was just humbling. You know, it was humbling at that point to step back and go, wow, I get the opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my own style, my own thing, you know, as you say, you know, I mean, but my own style, my own thing, because nobody did what I did. But when I looked, it made me realize that I don't do what they do either, you know, and it was just beautiful to watch all the different beautiful music coming from an ukulele, a little simple instrument that you would get. We're older, so I'm going to mention some Kmart back in the day.
Well, and I would bet that all of the ukulele players that you came across that might have been even from an older generation see you the same way, where they're like, oh wow, he's taking a unique approach to this instrument, just like, because they see that in all the players around them.
Yeah.
You know, and when someone comes in, anytime you hear somebody pick up a familiar instrument but somehow give it a new voice,
Yeah.
or a new spark,
Yep,
you
yep.
can't help but take notice.
You can't.
And I bet there was a lot of them that you made smile.
Oh, yeah. In fact, coming back around to the Sun City Club that I played with, the ukulele club I played with there, when I played at the Orange County Club, or the Orange County Ukulele Festival, I walked outside and a gentleman and a lady followed me out, and the lady and me got talking, and then all of a sudden the gentleman and me got talking, and he went to give me his card, and he goes, yeah, I'm part of the Sun City Ukulele Club. You know what I'm saying? And it was just such a wild circle of events that somebody from Arizona was in Santa Ana, California,
Right.
and was sitting there being like, hey, I enjoy you. We didn't realize that we played around each other, you know, and then come to find out the person that personally invited me and let me come to play with them was actually his wife.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so, you know, and they're an older, like I said, it's a retirement community, so it's a little bit older people. He was in his 70s, you know, and to be able to, at my age, to connect with older people, younger people my age, stuff like that, that's a blessing right there, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. But, yeah, the different styles out there is just, it's wild. It's wild, all the different ways you can play that ukulele nowadays.
Music is one of those things that can not only bridge the gap of age, it can bridge the gap of race and time and space.
Oh,
and
yeah, it has,
everything.
yeah, 100%, 100%.
I mean, yeah, you know,
Music's universal.
and
You
not
know.
everybody just like we all don't speak the same language, and not everybody likes the same music.
Well,
not everyone speaks the same language of music, but it's hard to find many people that go, I don't like music. Music's just no good.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's usually people that have noise in their head already. They can't quit thinking and stuff, so they just can't handle no more. But no, who doesn't like music? I mean, come on. I mean,
and to me,
without music, there is no therapy.
Yeah. To me, the vibrations of live music, as much as I love listening to recorded music, I do most of the day. Going out and feeling that live music and feeling that energy is something that's one of the reasons we come down here every Thursday.
Oh, 100%.
Let people know where this is happening.
100%.
Now, you've been out playing live music. How long you been doing this now?
Well, shoot, man, I've been doing it most of my life, but with the ukulele, probably about 8-9 years now at least.
8-9 years now.
Yeah, this tour alone, since I seen you last, me and Birdie's been 17 states and 22,000 miles.
Man, nice.
So yeah, nice. I mean, but not hundreds of thousands of shows, but I mean, at the same time, we're just busting out state by state and show by show, and just keep cruising along and enjoying the journey, because it's about the journey, not the destination, you guys. I mean, destination is just a point to start something new.
Yeah. Usually once you get to that destination, you just pick another destination.
100%.
Anyway.
The beginning is the end is the beginning.
It's a circle, man.
Yeah, it's a circle.
We're all running around in circles out here.
100%.
Well, one thing about the ukulele, you can just make a show wherever you're at.
Yes, 100%, and that's the best part about it. Like out in Venice Beach, one of my favorite things I got to do out at Venice Beach was actually it's sunset. Go down there, open my case, and just start playing my music next to the Venice Beach Pier. Yeah. There was like 3 or 4 palm trees behind me, the ocean, the sun going down with the pier, and everybody's walking out there at that point to try to catch the sunset. And here's an ukulele playing with my dog laying there. Like it was just, it's a moment, it's a moment, and truly for me, it was really a moment because it was a moment I fell in love with doing. Because not only do I enjoy doing my shows, I enjoy giving music. So to stand out there at the beach and give that atmosphere of an ukulele is priceless, Yeah, but that was one of my favorite things along the tour. I mean, I had a lot of favorite things. Don't get me wrong, but that moment, to see people's face and to stop and watch them and stuff, and just to see the joy. Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, I don't know. A lot of musicians that I know, the reason they picked up an instrument is to have fun and to make people smile, make people dance, make people enjoy this moment. A lot of us actually picked them up in the beginning to get out angst, but it somehow turns into this other beautiful thing. You said it was just a moment. It wasn't just a moment. It was a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment.
It was a beautiful moment because I could vision it in my head when you said it. And Orange County, the most expensive county in the country, probably.
Well, it's Los Angeles County actually, is where I was at.
So you were down in Venice,
I'm out down in
you were talking
Venice
about
Beach.
Santa Ana. I think that's
I went to Santa Ana. I also played in like Corona, California, at Manifested Lab twice. Go back there again here in a couple months.
Nice.
Also, so I ended up in Santa Ana, Newport for the Ukulele Festival. But along the way, I played in like Albuquerque, New Mexico a couple times at this point. I played in Edmonds, Oklahoma City. Let's see, Norman, Oklahoma by the Sooner College right on Main Street. Springfield, Missouri. Avila, Missouri, which is only like 500 people. And I mean, I just love that bar, man. I mean, I got the gig by just cruising through on the first time, handing out flyers as I would go through, or if I didn't have a show, I'd ask if I could just play.
Yeah.
And within 30 minutes, if you don't like what I'm doing, you can go ahead and leave, and there's no hard feelings and stuff. And
you
people
can ask me to leave, and there's no hard
feelings. People would let me do it, but he ended up saying he couldn't book me at that time, but he could book me later.
Yeah.
And stuff, so he did. So I ended up back at Villa, Missouri, and Carthage, Missouri, which I love that town. And stuff like that. I mean, Carthage is just absolutely a beautiful historic town. Beautifully historic, So I've been to like the woodshed there, Cherry's Woodshed, where you got like all this beautiful art, and then in the back you got a steakhouse and burger shed, and then you got the stage and everything like that, and you got the courthouse across the street on Main Street and stuff. So yeah, it's beautiful. You know, it's absolutely beautiful.
So I guess you would consider this home then, right? Coming back home here.
What'd you say?
I guess you would consider this your home, this area?
Yeah, this is my hometown, and this is my home, and I guess even on the road I call it my home, but at this point, you know, I mean, the road is my home. I'm a road warrior.
Right.
I'm a musical road warrior. I mean, that's my dream. That's what I've wanted to do. That's what I dream of doing, and that's what I make happen. You know, at this point, however it is, you know, just booking shows across the way. What I usually do is I pick a place I want to go. Like right now, it's getting ready to get warm, so I wouldn't mind going north, you know. So me personally, I'm heading back out to Carthage, California. I know I got Carthage, Missouri. And I'm heading out to Corona, California. Well, in between them dates, I'm probably going to jump on 71 on Jefferson Highway and head north all the way almost to Canada. And then shoot over to Seattle and shoot straight back down to where I can get back over to Corona, California, and I'm already there, you know. Yeah. So I just try right now with touring and stuff with my car and my dog and me and stuff. We just try to follow the weather more than anything. You know, I mean, the hot and the cold matter on these tours with our instruments and our gear and everything like that. So, you know, throughout the year, you know, that's been one of our challenges is like in Oklahoma last year, we went out there doing Route 66 for August, just a little tour. And, man, that heat's brutal. The heat will get you out there in August. And I didn't really expect it to be like a Texas kind of heat, and it's brutal down there in August, you know. And so this year decided instead of going that way to Oklahoma, I need to go up to maybe like Wisconsin and North Dakota and South Dakota and, you know, Idaho and Washington and Oregon, or maybe cruise through Colorado to where I hit the mountains and stuff like that, you know. But at this point, you know, I mean, I already know the tour, so, but at this point, you know, it was just all open at that point with what the weather was. Yeah. What the weather was, you know. But we're heading out to Seattle pretty much. I'll just give a couple little bits, man. We're heading out to Seattle for and then we're going to head down the coast, down one, you know, but I think we're going to shoot across 80, shoot 70 to 80.
When I brought up home, I meant, you know, that this is where you kind of got your start here in Granite City, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, and you had mentioned last time, we didn't dive into it too much, that you were actually playing banjo.
Yes.
So was that your original instrument, or did you play something before that?
No, actually, I started out in trumpet. You know, and the funny thing is the trumpet, I mean, I did drums in like 4th grade, but for like a month. But, you know, I started out with trumpet in the junior high band, and the only reason I started trumpet is because I wanted a class with my cousin that was my best friend at that time, Buddy Peasy, right? And in order to get in with him, because he was 8th grade and I was 7th grade, was to play in band, and he played the trumpet. So I played the trumpet, you know, and after that, the next year he went to high school. I started playing the baritone. Baritone was my instrument all the way through the rest of junior high to high school, and then became the high school drum major.
Okay.
You know, and then after that, I just didn't really do much music, just followed music around with String Cheese and different hippie bands and jam bands and stuff. And then after that, ended up doing like a little bit like production hip-hop, you know, like party type stuff, and started doing like a little bit of hip-hop stuff, but nothing serious, you know. And everything, and
yeah, you mentioned you did that with Josh Witt.
Did that with Josh Witt and Chuck Norris, Chuck Node, or whatever you want to call him, Chuck Norris from Granite City and stuff, not the famous one, but yeah, with them, Virus Mind Productions. And then after that, was sitting there and was just like, everybody's playing stringed instruments, so I picked up the banjo. And I played the banjo, and then all of a sudden, you know, I mean, years go past, you know, moved to Colorado, back, all this stuff, and Josh Witt started a band called the Odd Conversations. And it was, I mean, it was like 12 of us. I mean, it was wild, man. We had mandolins, banjos, guitars, drums, electric guitars. I mean, like, you name it, it was in the band and stuff. And that's kind of, you know, like I think I said it last time, that's kind of how we all started. You know, not meaning we all started. They all started years before Odd Conversations as well, you know, just like me. But with Odd Conversations and stuff, we kind of all split up into Spillie Nelson and Justus and the Experience, and a bunch of bands came out of that. Yeah, Fleetwood and Family and stuff. I mean, a bunch of bands came out of that. A bunch of beautiful bands out of Granite and out of St. Louis and stuff that's just crushing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm so proud of them guys, man. I mean, shout out to you guys, man. Just to let you know I don't see you often, don't get to talk to you often, but, man, just keep on the roll, dog. Like, I am so proud of you guys, man. So proud of you guys. I've got to watch us all grow.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best thing about it is throughout these years where we started and where we are now, we've grown so much. And we've still, and when you look at each of us, we still got so much more growth to come. So many more great years to do this, you know what I'm saying? So enjoy the journey, you guys. Enjoy the journey, dog.
For sure.
I'm growing a little bit just hearing about it.
Hopefully in your heart, man. Hopefully in your heart.
Man, so you were just talking about maybe jumping over Oklahoma and going north because of the heat. See, I was getting ready to get like Dennis brought up with a ukulele. You could stop anywhere, wherever you could stop at a park and you can play. And I was going to give you a good spot to go in Oklahoma.
I'll take it. Don't get me wrong.
This isn't like a club or anything like that. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, they got the Woody Guthrie Museum. It's an awesome museum, but there's a little courtyard-like area right outside.
Okay, really? Really, the bus? You talking about the bus, or you talking
right to the side of the building between the hotel that I was staying in and the Woody Guthrie Museum? There was this little area, and I was like, thinking, oh man, I got to tell him about that. That'd be if my brain's remembering it right. That's a perfect.
Yeah, I'm in Tulsa May 20th actually.
Well, and all these people are coming and going from the Woody Guthrie Museum that are people who like music.
Yeah,
totally.
It's perfect spot. Like totally perfect spot.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. So
yeah. I'm in Tulsa May 20th, and I'm at the Trinity River Festival.
Yeah. Which is why you're here to
I think.
Talk about that May 16th. At the Old Milton School, returning to the Trinity River Festival. Is this your second time, or have you done
gosh, man, this is like my 6th year.
Six?
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been playing it for. I love playing the festival. I mean, I love what it stands for. I love them. You know what I'm saying?
So 6 out of 9. Because this will be the 9th.
6, but this will be my 6th or 7th one.
So you did.
I think I only missed one.
You did Milton School last year.
Yep.
Was Milton School the year before that too?
No, I think it was all the way out by Hardin.
It was up in Campsville. You did both the Campsville years.
Yep.
And then before that,
it was VFW.
It was the VFW out there. Yeah, I was gonna say it's.
I mean, I've done a grip of years with them and everything, and that's honestly, that's the only reason I'm back in town.
Yeah.
Is I like doing that festival and I love them. So every year I try to get a hold of them around the beginning of the year and see if they're doing it and what we're gonna do, and I try to manage my schedule to come back through if I possibly can.
Nice.
So and I got the opportunity too. So when I got the opportunity to, it was like, I'll be there, and then I'll just roll back out Route 66 and do. I mean, it's not really a show, you know what I'm saying, but it's a show. But I'll do a farmers market out in Carthage for the city because I enjoy them so much there and stuff. The city's really helped me out there with the Route 66 visiting center and John, and it's just. They've been so good to me, man. Let me sleep in their parking lot as I come through, and and giving me maps and advice, and told me where to go to get shows, and so they've been super, super helpful. Awesome. I absolutely love that place. So I stopped through there, but it's just a public thing of a farmer's market, and then I'll end up going out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then I come back through though. I come back through this way, and I'll end up in like Decatur, Illinois, and that's where my summer tour kicks off at the Solstice Festival.
So back for the Trinity River Fest.
Yeah, we get the honor of having you back in town, and it's great to see you again. And it's been a while, and glad to have you back at the Trinity River Fest, which is happening May 16th at the Old Milton School. And you're going to be playing with some of your buddies. Spillie Nelson's going to be there.
Oh, yeah.
We got Kirkos, we got Datura, we got Modern Pasta, we got Cave Fight, we got the Peacelords, Accidentally on Purpose, Don't Get Dead, Psychedelic Symphony, Erin Joe and the Greater Good. you, of course, Justus and the Experience, Mudhound, and Max Michael, all performing this year at the Old Milton School.
That sounds like a great lineup.
It does.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are returning artists, so I'm sure you've met them along the way and talked to some of those. So some old friends are going to be glad to see you come back in town. And this year, they've added a new thing.
What they had?
So we got noon to midnight is when the basic festival takes place. That's a $20 ticket. For a $40 ticket, though, you get to camp out overnight inside the Old Milton School.
Oh, that's cool.
Where they're going to have some live music overnight, probably a mixture of all the bands kind of doing a little jam session overnight,
cool.
And a haunted tour.
What?
Yeah, because apparently the Old Milton School's got some stories and some fun, so that'll be a good time.
Alden has a lot of spooky stories.
One of the most haunted towns in America.
Yeah, St. Louis being one of the most haunted cities in America as well, you know.
Right.
I mean, but that sounds just absolutely fabulous.
So,
you know, I mean, you know, I'm not big into thriller stuff or into horror stuff, but man, I love a good haunted house. I will tell you that right now. I love a good haunted house. You know, one that just gets you every once in a while. You're like, oh yeah, that got me. Oh my gosh. You're like,
I think those are pretty limited tickets, aren't they?
There is only 20.
There's only 20 of those overnight tickets available, so it's very
nice,
limited.
What do you call that? Intimate overnight stay with some friends, and I'm sure there's going to be people that have performed in the event. They're going to be involved in that too. But this is for the other people that want to stay. They're offering them 20 tickets to get in and be part of that. And I'm not exactly sure if I got the prices right on that.
See, I mean, that's so affordable.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and stuff. I mean, especially for the acts and everything like that, and to get to stay overnight and get extra entertainment. And,
so you get like a 10 by 10 spot, chill out and camp.
Yeah.
With that overnight experience. So something a little different.
That's exciting. This is the first time hearing about this, so... You know, it's super exciting and stuff, so.
Right on. And that is the Trinity River Fest May 16th, is that
May
right?
16th.
May 16th at the Old Milton Schoolhouse, returning there for the second time. Great lineup, like you said. But what do we got going on this Friday?
Thanks to Halp Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Vorst of Macias Insurance. They've been with us going on 10 years now. I think May is when we started this program, and this will be our 10th season, I believe, if I counted right. But, my math's no better than Pigpen, so who knows? All we know how to do is count how many buds we got left. So
3. Yeah. I think that's about it.
Yeah. But, so thanks to them, we've been able to, talk about the local music scene. And going on Friday night, we always have live Irish music down at Morrison's Irish Pub. We got drag shows at Bubby's and Sissy's. We got Hammerhead performing 6 to 9 at the Block Food Truck Lot in Alton. Live music at Fast Eddie's. 2 acts, not sure who the first one is. Haven't listed it yet, but Exit 52, 7 to 11. And then downtown Wood River, West End and Courtyard, 1-year anniversary with Rum Boogie playing from 5 to 8, 10 West Ferguson. We got Jason McAtee Band playing out at Bakers and Hale from 7 to 10. If you're familiar with, I wanted to say Torchlight Parade, but that's way off. Porch Cafe. Well, I got those guys in my head, and I'll explain that. But anyways, yeah, that's completely different. Yeah, Porch Cafe, lead singer, and so some bad news out of Doc Holidays, and I don't even want to really get into this, but since we talked to local bands, so Carrie Lee posted on Facebook, and some of the members of Psychedelic Symphony confirmed that you may not get paid there, and to be aware.
That's not good.
That they may tell you you're going to get paid, and at the end you don't.
And that's putting it mildly compared to what Kerry Lee put. His was very well done. I just don't want to try to paraphrase and say what it is, but just a little warning: be aware. Be aware. There's been some shenanigans there. So.
If you need to get paid, get it up front.
Yeah.
Yes. At least a down payment.
Right. At least give me a burrito.
Yeah. Shoot, food and shelter. Come on, man.
Right. send me out of here hungry.
Don't send me out here hungry, baby.
So from what I understand, he had a gig scheduled. He set up. When he got there, they said something like they thought he was a DJ, but got permission to set up, started playing, and I guess it was the owner that came in and said, no, we're not having live music. And he had a contract that said, if there's a cancellation, he gets a certain amount still, right? Sure. And they didn't want to go along, according to Kerry Lee. And and he's a heads up guy, man. We know Kerry. He doesn't seem like the guy to be playing the shenanigans, but we don't know the other folks, so I don't want to talk trash on something I don't know about, but
that's the story as you know it.
That's
the gossip of the street.
It is. So we'll move on now. Dark Horse playing at the Hog Pit from 6 to 10, and that's why my mind shifted to Torchlight Parade, because they got Bike Week coming up, and I seen Torchlight Parade's going to be playing.
Okay.
And it's cool to have them in town. But last weekend, the bass player, the son of the guitar player, had his band Aragon up at the Hog Pit and playing at 1:30, and they just they were in that St. Louis Teens competition, and they did really well in that. They've been on KSHE and a lot of other places, because Doug, his father, is tapped into all that anyways, so following in the shoes of Torchlight Parade. And it's just good to see, man. That's good awesome to see those guys coming over here, because mainly they play in St. Louis, and this is one of that. We have bands come in here all the time, and we start reading this list, and they're like, we need to get over here.
Right. Yeah.
So it's cool to see that.
Yeah,
and that's why my brain didn't go to Porch Cafe.
Well, it cracked me up when you said Torchlight Parade, because I was in my shed today and I saw my Torchlight Parade beach ball.
Right.
And it made me chuckle. I'm like, that band's got beach balls.
and to fill Justus in. So Torchlight Parade's a unique band because they work in a funeral home.
Oh, what?
One drives a hearse, one's a mortician.
One is an embalmer.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Isn't that what a mortician is?
Well, no.
I don't know.
So
that's fancy words, man.
Right. The two brothers that are in Torchlight Parade, one of them drives the hearse, and I think the other one does the embalming. And then the gentleman who comes with them that does the St. Baldrick's is the actual mortician.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you call the guy that does the embalming? Does he have a title?
Cool.
I don't think
I call him pretty cool.
Embalming.
I call him
bombing.
I call him friend, man.
Yeah. He's the bomb.
Yeah, he's the bomb. But they
I'm gonna have to Google it.
They don't do tons and tons of shows, but they go all out.
Yeah,
that's great. I wonder if they practice in the funeral home and stuff.
I think they do.
I was gonna say I think they practice in the funeral home.
I would watch them.
At least half.
Yeah.
I think they told it. Man, the stories they tell, they're just totally connected
They're
into what you would call the St. Louis metal scene, because they consider themselves a metal band. And kind of a mix of an Alice Cooper type thing, where it's theatrical.
Yeah.
They'll get caskets from the funeral home.
I was going to say, do they do that? I was going to ask that, man.
They bring their equipment in a hearse.
Oh, my gosh, dog. That is...
they go all out with it.
But
then when the first time we had them on, they covered an entire table with merchandise. That they had multiple kinds of drinking cups and beach balls and their own hot sauce. Yeah. And it was
I got a thermos. They're all out on their merch.
It was insane where you're like, you're spending all your embalming money on merch.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the business that never goes out of business.
That's for sure.
Well, I can't think of the guy's name. Comedian that he does that bit where he's like, biggest house in every little town is the funeral home.
Yep.
How's business doing? Pretty good since that school bus wreck.
Tell you what, they're great. That'd be absolutely phenomenal to watch. A bunch of people that actually, because instead of it being an act, it's actually their real life, what they do every day to bring to the show in the hearse, and then they bring caskets in, and then they start playing, and it's like you said, it's an old Alice Cooper style. So Alice Cooper was a theatrical person. Like he didn't just play music up there. We all know that, but I could only imagine their show. You know what I'm saying?
With an Alice Cooper show, you watch Steven turn into Alice in front of your eyes and then get beheaded with a guillotine. You know.
And Bike Week, that's just a few weeks away now. So, and that was a huge event last year. I mean, they brought them in from all over the country, and it's cool, man. Crafton is a place that we've always admired here because, you know, they'll have floods up there to wipe out the whole music scene. One year, it was the year of the virus, right? Yeah. And so everything got shut down, and as soon as they get ready to open, and a flood comes. Shuts them down again. So, I mean, and they're resilient. They just keep coming pushing, back and coming back.
Hard to get rid of river folk.
You know, they say you never succeed without persistence.
Yeah.
You know.
And you remember, Pigpen, I think I've mentioned this before, but I know how your mind is. We were doing that Experience Live Music Row thing. We were talking about how cool it was that Belleville was like taking all their bars on one street and kind of combining it into one thing called Experience Live Music Row. Well, there's a Facebook page called Enjoy Grafton that posts every week all the bands that are playing up there and all the other events that are going on. So if you're into that thing, I'd tap into it, and you can, if you know, just going through our website. So that's a pretty cool thing that they're starting to make it a little bit more of a scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, also going on up there Friday night, Hookie.
Oh, yeah.
Playing 7 to 11 at Grafton Pub. We got, what else? Jake and Max. Nope, that's Edwardsville. I guess that's it for a Friday night. They're mainly a Saturday, Sunday kind of thing in Grafton, but we got Jake and Max playing the backstage out there at Holiday Shores.
Oh, they moved.
Backstage at the lake. It used to be Wigglers.
Yeah.
And now it's backstage at the lake. Same backstage that's in town, right across from Wild E. So
same owners.
Yeah, same theme there. Yeah. And so we got that going on. We got CJ Sounds at a Barrel and Brew in Edwardsville. Caden Cruz out the cabin at Judy Creek on Friday night from 7 to 11. The Pro Wrestling Epic. Sorry, guys. Sold out again like the third time now at the Mill in Granite City. Man. So if you're ever wanting to check them out down there, you better get your tickets early. Matt Tall going to be up in Jerseyville on Friday night at George's Pub and Grill. He's probably going to get a steak because he's Matt Tall. Gateway Fest happening, the Prelude. Man, there's those rappers again, man. I can never figure out these codes and stuff. They're putting it in there. DK, Star God, Visionary, For Yena, Tobias, Biggs. Yeah, but it's Baags. So am I saying it right? I don't know.
Baags.
Kinzay 4. What's the next one, Pigpen? 4TR 4Y 4.
4 Tray 4.
Okay.
That's 4 Tray 4, man.
All right. And so on and so forth.
I love it.
And
that's the way I see it anyway. Yeah. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, but that's what I saw when I looked at it.
That's all at Pops, 7:30, and big show there. Andy Coco and Company going to be down at Long Shots. At Fairmont Park in Collinsville, 7 o'clock down there. So just a taste of what's happening on Friday night and part of the River Bend. And, I mean, our list keeps going and going and going. We are talking to Justus and the Experience. The Experience is the Pooch. Yeah. Where's the Pooch?
The Pooch's over here laying down. Okay. You know, she wandered around the room for a little bit and explored, and now finally laying down and realizing that, you know,
we're here.
We're all here, and she, you know, enjoyed the room.
She experienced the room.
Yeah, she experienced the room. But yeah, she's just over here. She always chills. She's like I said, she just lays on stage while I play all the shows, and everybody loves her. I mean, everybody loves her more than me. I walk in, and most people are like, "Who are you?" Bird dog, you know, kind of thing. You know, so yeah, she truly is the highlight of the whole show.
The comedian Tom Green, he got kind of angst out during lockdown. Remember Tom Green?
Yeah.
And so he decided to hit the road in his van.
Oh, really?
And travel with his dog. It was a book he had read about. And or had read at some point, and so he did that for a while. And
the comedian that was married to Drew Barrymore, or whatever. Yeah. So he jumped in his van and just decided to travel around and with his dog and just do whatever, huh?
Got tired of being locked down and just went out in the middle of nowhere and filmed content with his dog. And
that's awesome.
And
me and him could be friends.
Oh, man.
he was who I was trying to think of earlier that did the bit about the funeral home at the edge of town being the biggest place in town.
Yeah.
I could picture him. I just couldn't.
Tom Green, yeah.
Tom
I mean,
Green.
to me, the guy invented YouTube.
Yeah.
He was doing that kind of stuff way back with public access TV, and then
He was
remember
funny.
MTV caught on to him, brought him out, and it had to be one of the first reality shows on MTV because back in those days they were still doing music and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say they were doing video most of the day.
Yeah. So, dude is an innovator, man.
Yes. And, man, Tom Green.
Very funny man, too.
That dude's very funny man. Yeah, me and him could be definitely friends because that's exactly what I do. Jumped in my car, me and my dog, rolled across country, filming some stuff, doing some music. We did some beautiful hikes. Tell you what, man, I mean, some absolutely gorgeous hikes along the way. And yeah, so me and Tom Green could probably be friends.
Yeah. So now he's up in Canada, where he's from. He's back near his parents. He bought a big chunk of land up there, and chilling with his parents.
Cool.
In his latter years, but still does comedy tours. So
he bought half of Saskatchewan. No, I don't know. That's true.
He bought an island up there and owns it.
My wife works with a guy who has his own island up there, and there's just generators. There's like he has to take a boat to it. He goes up there in the summer, and he's got a cabin on it, and there's no electricity, there's no nothing, but he's got his. I saw one for sale with a cabin on it a few years ago because it's cold up there.
Yeah.
So it's not as expensive as islands like in the South Pacific. I saw one for $30,000 with like a house on it basically, and I'm like. But you gotta have a boat too. You also gotta have a boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, gotta have a plane to fly in.
Yeah, well, you gotta have, or if you got a boat too, you gotta have. If you drive back, take the boat back over, you gotta have somewhere to park that boat. Now, you can't just have a boat.
Now driving this car to the store, right?
Yeah,
you're flying out, boating in, boating out. Get yourself a what is it called, a sled team.
So I saw this one time. You're the kind of guy that might find this interesting. Me and my wife go out to Colorado years ago, and we get some snowshoes, and we drive till the road ends. There's no more road. It just stops, and I noticed there's quite a few garages with no houses, but I didn't think much of it. And we start snowshoeing up the path or whatever, and you find houses.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there'd be like a snowcat, this like machine that, people like park their car in the garage, they pull the snowcat out, park their car in there, and then they take. But some of these people were skiing home with uphill with sleds behind them full of dry goods.
Oh yeah, that cross country skiing.
To myself, okay, you live in an amazing place here. Nobody's finding you unless they. But that's kind of
extreme.
That's pretty extreme because they had like a load of goods, and I mean, I was huffing and puffing just to walk, And
they're just training. No,
but to walk in places like that where there are no roads, then you all of a sudden you'd come across like an old gold mine that been abandoned. You're like, oh yeah.
Well, when I hiked the Appalachian Trail, I realized, because I always thought I'd love to have something like that, but I realized I love the city just as much as I love being out. I mean, I wouldn't want to all the time have to snowshoe my food back to my place. Right. But if I chose to do that day, I could go the 10, 15, 20, 30 miles in, 30 miles out, whatever, and do that, or what. But I don't want to be so far out that that's my only option.
Right.
Is getting airdrops down, man, and you're out there trying to find the airdrop on your cross country skis and skiing it back in sleds and stuff.
I think now you can have Amazon sled this stuff up to you.
Shoot, man, Amazon drop it with an Android, man, just drop it down to you. I mean, could you imagine door dashing in the middle of the Amazon?
Oh man. So there you go.
Dean Justus here. Justus in the Experience, ukulele player,
ukulele wizard. The ukulele wizard, baby.
He taught us all about the ukulele in the last episode that you were here, and you were here for the same reason then, Trinity River Festival.
Yeah.
You played 6 out of, this will be the 9th annual, so 6 out of 8.
6 out of 8.
Yeah. And this will be, your 7th, I guess.
Yep,
then, huh?
Yep. Pretty much since I started playing the ukulele, it was probably a year or two after I started playing, like what I'm doing, and got to play with them up at the VFW.
Right.
Back in the day.
That was the first time I saw you. Was playing at the VFW up there.
And this year at the Old Milton School on May 16th. And Spillie Nelson going to be there. Datura, Kirkos, Modern Pasta, Cave Fight, Accidentally on Purpose, Don't Get Dead. That's Jared Unfried's band.
Yeah.
Brand
of City Folk.
Man, that's one of my sponsors actually and stuff. Man, I got sponsored on my way back out to California this last time, and one of my sponsors was actually Jared Humphreys of the Alton Music Exchange.
Yeah.
Man, huge shout out, brother.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love
Definitely.
it. I didn't hear your new band. I didn't know that he had a new band. I thought he was always
Hideous Gentleman.
Hideous Gentleman.
Right. Still doing that.
Yeah.
He's still got that.
That's awesome.
Playing with Spillie Nelson.
Yeah, playing with Spillie also.
was.
Yeah, he's playing with Spillie, and he's got Don't Get Dead, sort of a punk rock.
That's like a punk rock band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have took it for a Grateful Dead band or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like it,
sounds like it to me. That's cool, man. Like a punk rock style.
And then Jumpin' Johnny's band will be there, of course, Psychedelic Symphony, and Aaron Joe and the Greater Good.
Nice.
Part of that lineup, Mudhound and Max Michael, along with Justus and the Experience on May 16th at the Old Milton School.
It was me $20.
It owes me $20, yeah.
Aaron Joe playing with Mila Duffy down at Morrison's Irish Pub on Saturday. So
Aaron Joe's really good.
I believe she's got a release coming out soon. We're gonna
I think
have to
so.
Get her in here.
I think so.
And chit chat with.
Yeah, she's
Miss
fun.
Erin Joe.
She's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
big time fun. Every time I see her shows, she's a lot of fun.
She's one of those people that just kind of puts a smile on your face.
Yeah,
always seems happy. Always seems to just have a smile.
It's energizing,
on her face.
and I mean, she knows how to sing and play too. She knows how to
Absolutely.
entertain. So I mean, it's a 5-class show, man.
It's not just sing and play. She can dance, dude. That's a trifecta.
I didn't know
That's
she
a
could
triple threat,
dance.
bro.
Didn't know she could dance. I never really saw her dance. I just.
I think I seen her dancing with her fiddle one time, just dancing around.
Oh
playing it.
yeah.
she may be a ninja.
Oh,
She may, and she's a ninja.
I could
see?
definitely,
There's
I could definitely see
a
that.
ninja.
I could definitely see that.
I'm a
You
triple
know.
threat. I can sing, dance, and guess the weight of any baby thrown to me. This is true. I can't do any of the above.
All right, there is one truth and two lies there. Which one? You guys check it out.
So speaking of releases, we got one here queued up of yours, Justus and the Experience.
Awesome. Yeah, it's If
What
Heaven
can you
Had a
tell us
Phone.
about this?
I'll tell you a lot about it, actually. I mean, it's written for my grandma. It was written for Matt Dietrich and Chris Wilbur. Back in the day is how I actually wrote the song. My grandma passed away, and no matter where I was in the country, because at that point I traveled a lot already and been all over, and I could always call my grandma. My grandma always knew where I was at. She was my stable rock place and stuff, And so after that, I kind of came up with this idea of if heaven had a phone. I was used to not being around her, tell you the truth, because I was always gone. But, man, I could always contact her. And if heaven had a phone, and all of a sudden, Deech passed away of his brain tumor, and Wilbur passed away overseas on tour. And it all came roundabout, just because of a couple incidents. When Wilbur passed, I had a friend say something to me that really hit me deep as we left Pops, and we were really, 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 really had a good night.
Yeah.
And stuff, and he said something that just hit me in the heart, and I went home that next day and I wrote that song and been sitting there playing it ever since. And just now that it's gone on, these years that I've wrote it and stuff, I lost my mom. I've lost other people along the way. So now, and actually on this tour, when I hit Albuquerque, New Mexico, I lost my grandma.
Oh, wow.
So, the tour was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, from Albuquerque out to California to back, it was a little bit on the back of my mind always. And every time I played this song, it was sent out to her. So
it was a great idea for a song. I think every one of us have experienced that thought. I used to reach out and call this person. Now they're not there. I wish heaven had a phone so I could call them right now, because this is the person I would call at that time.
What would you say? What would you do? That's the question. At that point, if heaven did have a phone.
It depends on which friend I wanted to talk to, because I might need to get transferred to hell.
Well, you never know. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You know,
I'm just making jokes.
Yeah. But you never know, man. There could be a route for heaven to have if hell had a phone, man. Maybe that's the next sequel.
Right.
Come up with the next song.
Yeah. Maybe you call hell and it's like, no, he's in heaven.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to get a different number.
Yeah.
Oh man,
and they might not pass it on to you.
Wrong extension.
Can you give me the number, Satan? No, I don't have it.
But yeah, so this kind of goes out to my grandma.
Yeah.
So you
Phyllis
had some help
Justus
with this. It looks like Rich Fleetwood.
Rich Fleetwood and Paul Niehaus. I mean, two staples in St. Louis, man. Some of the best musicians.
So they're
in St.
playing
Louis
on this
right now.
track.
They play on this track as well. Yeah.
And did Paul record it for you?
No. I went to Blue Lotus a couple times and recorded some other songs that I'll be releasing, but this one was recorded at Shock City Studio over in St. Louis. Back with me, Rich, and Paul. I guess it's been a couple years, because this has been out for a couple years now at this point. But you can find this on 150 streaming channels, YouTube. Call me up. I'll personally play it for you.
That's a
version. So man, I mean, just
what?
Yeah,
I'm too excited now. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
Let's check this out. This is If Heaven Had a Phone, Justus and the Experience.
About you all, I just wish heaven had a phone. Just so many people I'd love to call. Man, I called my grandma, called Deech, called Chris, just so many people. Who would you call? What would you say? If you just had that one last call on the phone.
Justus and the Experience right there. If you haven't had a phone, check them out. May 16th, Trinity River Fest at the Old Milton School, and it's going to be a good one.
If I can give a couple shout-outs.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, awesome. Huge shout-out to John Griffin. I don't know if you guys know John Griffin and stuff, man. Make sure you go out and check out John Griffin's art. Beautiful art, man. That's who actually did the...
Hold it up in front of this camera here.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Griffin art on my back.
Yes, you do have Griffin art on your back, actually. So, yeah, that's who actually did the artwork for the Winter Festival, or the Winter Tour for Route 66 and stuff. So, huge shout-out to him. You know, so make sure you go check out his art. And then definitely, man, huge shout-outs to all the sponsors that I had, man. You know, Justus Heating, Cooling, Park Grill, you know, Omega Music, Extreme Ink, A&B Embroidery, out of Wood River right here, the tie-dyed, man. You can't go wrong without going over to Lazy Leopard Con and stuff, you guys. We got Sissy Space, Chunko's Meat Market, Alton Music Exchange, and TNT Fencing, man. Huge shout-outs to you guys for helping make my dreams come true and get me across the country and stuff with my winter tour. Man, you guys have been great, man. I love you guys. Thank you so much for letting me come on, man. This has been a blessing. You know, blessed and highly favored, you guys.
Oh, yeah, man. They're glad to have you back on. And you were, I think, getting ready to go over the Trinity River Fest lineup one more time.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but I really want to mention, you know, what Trinity's Way is all about.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And you can actually participate this Sunday because they're having one of their cleanups this Sunday. Trinity's Way, Oakwood Avenue cleanup, and they're going to meet at Spectrum, the cable place, which is out there on the Homer Adams Parkway. And they'll do a cleanup from 9 until 11 on Sunday, and that's what they're raising money for and celebrating at Trinity's River Fest.
And also to help with the local pet shelters and animal shelters. They give money to that, as well as cleaning up the community. There's nothing bad. No. It's all good, all positive things coming out of that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, anybody that's willing to step up at this moment with the day and age and actually help your community, that's golden, man. I mean, you don't see too many people willing to do it, you know. So that's beautiful, man. Go out and support help clean up your community, Alton, over at Homer's Parkway, you said?
Homer Adams Parkway.
Yeah, man, definitely come out May 16th, man. Check us out, man. You're going to miss a great time if you don't. It's been great every year. I've been there, I'll tell you that. A lot of fun, a lot of great music, and every year it's gotten better and better, man. So, yeah, come out, Definitely come out. Check us out.
I did want to try to squeeze in a few more of Saturday shows because there's some interesting stuff happening Saturday as well that we didn't get to. I mentioned Mila and Erin Joe playing down at Morrison's Irish Pub. I wanted to also mention the Three Stooges up in Grafton from 7 to 10 at the Bloody Bucket Saloon. And my buddy Darren's playing with Behavior Intervention, 1:30 to 5:30. And then Retro Rocket playing after them at Grafton's Pub. But what I want to talk about is Mayfest. How about this one? The Worst Barbarian Band. But that's WURST.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're having their Mayfest. So St. Louis Express is going to play first, 1 to 4. And then the Worst Barbarian Band. I guess that's how you say that. 6 to 9 at Sneaky's. And then tell me who this is a tribute to, Pigpen. Rain and Blood.
Well, it couldn't be Slayer.
Yeah, it has to be Slayer.
Anybody but Slayer.
Anybody but Slayer. Yeah.
So there you go, Slayer tribute. Don't see many of those.
No.
Down at the Mill in Granite City, they're going to be playing with Divine Sorrow.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Funny thing is, Kerry King from Slayer's actually in this tribute band. No, I don't know. Just kidding.
And since we're on the metal list, how about the Black Dahlia Murder with Acadia Strain, Disembodied Tyrant, and Corpse Pile. That is a metal
That's
show.
a metal show.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
At Pops. Yeah. And here's one up at Mississippi Culture for the Mother Jones Museum benefit. Casting Ruins, Kelly Hatley, and Nick Davio playing from 3 to 6 at Mississippi Culture up there in... And the Sexy Nerds, I forgot to mention that. The Sexy Nerds are playing at Pops as well.
And if you don't know who Mother Jones is, look her up because she was one bad A. I mean, she was.
Really?
Yeah, Mother Jones was tough woman.
So tell us about Mother Jones. Now you got me intrigued.
Well, we don't have. We're out of time, but she lived through fires and pestilence and all kinds of things. There's a big story to Mother. Yeah, there's a lot to her story.
We'll have to get her on the show.
Yeah, that's what I
I
was going
think
to
she's
say.
been
That sounds
dead
like
a long time. I think she was
We got a
living through
phone
fires
now.
100 years ago.
We got a phone to heaven now.
Yeah,
so
we got a phone to
You know
heaven,
what?
man. Get her on.
Maybe there's a Zoom to heaven,
Yep.
and we can
Get
get her
her
on Zoom.
Right there.
I don't know. hey, seriously, thanks, Dean. Thanks for
thank
coming
you guys.
down, stopping while you're in town. Thanks for coming back to town to do your 6th Trinity River Fest. Good people, good times, good cause, all of that.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mr. Dennis for putting together this amazing list that we didn't get to all of it. So if you want to know more of what's happening around our area, go to cottonmouth.org because we skipped a lot of this.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to have to update it because I think when the first of the month rolls around, everyone's like, oh, it's the first of the month all of a sudden, and you're like, I haven't posted what's happening this month yet. So they're just starting to come out with who's playing where and stuff like that with a lot of places. They're going to realize it for sure tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we haven't posted this stuff. I see it this weekend. It'll be just everybody posting stuff. So, stay tuned because I try to update that every single morning except Monday and Tuesday sometimes. Not a lot happening on Monday and Tuesday. So.
All right. Well, thanks again to Dean Justus and the Experience Ukulele Wizard.
Yes, the Ukulele Wizard.
Ukulele. So thanks for coming down, buddy. We will catch you at Trinity River Fest May 16th at the Old Milton Schoolhouse. And everybody remember, whatever it is you're going to do this weekend, make sure that you support Halpin Music, you support Matt Van Voris of Macias Insurance, and mainly get out and support local music and art.